everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rhiannon and today I'm giving you guys a massive book unboxing. So as you can probably see here, I have a gigantic stack of books by me. Please don't ask me how I had the patience not to open these. I honestly couldn't tell you. I think I've just been so busy that I've just been putting parcels to the side because I have been thinking about doing another unboxing video and I didn't realise just how many parcels that I'd acquired. So I have lost my patience and today I've decided to sit down and unbox these for you guys. Just a quick note, I'm not going to go through every single synopsis for every single book. I feel like that would just be so boring and it would also mean that this video would be way too long, so I will try and give you guys a brief description of the book, but if I do feel like I need to read you the synopsis then I of course will. Before we dive into this video though, please do make sure to check that you are subscribed to my channel. We are getting so close to 3k on here and it would honestly just mean the absolute world to me if we hit it. It still does blow my mind that you guys want to watch my content, and I think to give back to you guys I will be hosting a giveaway once I hit 3k as well. Right, without further ado, let's just dive into the unboxing. I am just going to reach for the top one up here, making sure I don't actually show you my address, but I believe that this is a book that's been sent to me by the publisher, so either it's an ARC copy or a review copy, and I haven't requested any ARC, so I'm guessing it's a review copy, but let's just open it and see. Oh, that really wasn't packaged very well. I think it was more or less open, but in here we have, oh my gosh, wow. Oh my gosh! We have a little parcel which I wasn't expecting, so I am just going to open this up. This is crazy. I've never had anything sent to me before with little goodies like this, so that is really fun. And so the book that I have to show you for this one is Lemon by Kwon Ye-sun. This is actually one that I requested, but I just completely forgot about it, to be honest with you. It does come out on the 7th of October, and this is the cover. This is actually a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. It's only a tiny book, and I've just checked the page count and it's 148 pages, so definitely a shorter read, but honestly guys, this one sounds like it's just going to be absolutely phenomenal. For this one, because it is a proof, I will just read you the synopsis. So it says, at once a gripping crime story and a fascinating dissection of class, gender and privilege in contemporary Korea, Lemon is the must-read novel of 2021. In the summer of 2002, 19-year-old Kim Hae-on was murdered in what became known as the high school beauty murder. There were two suspects, Shin Jeong-jun, who had a rock-solid alibi, and Han Manu, to whom no evidence could be pinned. The case went cold. 17 years pass without justice, and the grief and uncertainty take a cruel toll on her younger sister, Dae-won in particular. Unable to move on with her life, Dae-won tries in her own twisted way to recover some of what she's lost, ultimately setting out to find the truth of what happened. Told at different points in time from the perspectives of Dae-won and two of Hae-won's classmates, Lemon is a piercing psychological portrait that takes the shape of a crime novel. I mean, what more can I say about this? I keep saying it sounds phenomenal. Again, such a short book for what I think is going to be a crazy ride. And just in case any of you don't know, I'm absolutely fascinated by true crime. I do spend a lot of my free time watching documentaries about true crime, watching YouTube videos about true crime, listening to true crime podcasts, so I love reading books that deal with things in that area. I am actually part of the blog tour for this book as well, which is why it was very kindly sent to me, so I am going to be reading this one soon, and if you want to know my thoughts, I do actually post weekly reading vlogs. I haven't for a while, but I am planning to get back onto that, and this book will definitely be featuring in one that's coming up soon. Moving on to what was inside the package though, we have some really fun looking stuff, but honestly I have no idea what they are because unfortunately I do not speak Korean. The first thing though, I can tell what it is a face mask, and if you don't know, it says lemon on it, so I believe that it is a lemon scented face mask, which is of course fitting because the book is called Lemon. And also in there were these two things, so this is more like a sweet and I believe these are more like chocolatey cracker treats. I'm not too sure, but honestly guys, I love anything chocolatey and sweets, so these should go down a treat for me. So a massive thank you to the team over at Head of Zeus for sending this to me. Like I keep saying, I cannot wait to read it. I think this is actually one I'm going to read in one sitting, and I cannot wait to share my thoughts on it with you guys once I do get to it. Next up we have this one, and this is from Waterstones. Honestly, I've placed a lot of orders recently. I've had some books pre-ordered, so I really don't know what is in this stack. So let's just see what is in this one. Oh, okay, so we have, let me struggle. If If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This is probably going to be quite hard to pick up on camera, but look how beautiful this cover is and the foiling on it as well. And this is actually a newly released edition of this book. It is quite an old book, I believe, but they have decided to reprint it, and look, it has beautiful black sprayed edges. The end pages as well are so cool, and as well as that, it is also signed by the author. I honestly don't really know what this book is about. I've heard so much hype for it and I've always been intrigued, but I've never actually picked it up until I saw this very lovely special edition. All I really know is that it's a dark academia book. I don't know if it's a murder mystery or what. Oh, okay, and I've just skimmed over the synopsis, and it is to do with a Shakespeare class, and it does just say here, when tragedy strikes, one of the 7 friends is found dead. The rest face their greatest acting challenge yet, convincing the police and themselves that they are blameless. Now I'm definitely more intrigued. Again, this sounds like the perfect book for me, and I cannot wait to dive into it. Next up, I'm gonna go for this one. This is really hard to try and grab all of these without showing you guys my address. Oh, this opens here as well, which is strange, and I'm struggling. This is, oh okay, this is The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osmond. I'm not gonna lie though, my copy is quite damaged. I don't know how well you can see, it's kind of folded over a bit there, so I might be complaining, we will see. But yes, this is the second book in the Thursday Murder Club mystery series by him. I do have the first one, I still haven't read it yet. I was meant to buddy read it with Rachel over at Rachel Kerris, and we did start it, but unfortunately she wasn't feeling it at the time, so we decided to postpone the buddy read for now. But having this in my hands, I do kind of want to pick it up soon. I'm looking that way because it's staring right at me from my shelves. I don't actually know if I want to read the synopsis for this in case it spoils the first one. I doubt that it does, but because it's a series that follows the same characters, I don't really want to spoil anything for myself. So all I'm going to say to you about this one is that we do follow a group of older characters who do love to solve mysteries in their spare time. And so when a murder occurs in their small town, they decide to band together to try and solve it. This series does have rave reviews. I cannot wait to get to it, like I said. And again, it's another one that I'm hoping to get to soon. Next up, we have this one, and in here we have the third book in the Six Tudor Queen series by Alison Weir. So this is Jane Seymour, the Haunted Queen, and like I said, it is the third book in a series in which we follow each of Henry VIII's 6 wives. I have actually read the first book, which follows Catherine of Aragon. I have also started the second book following Anne Boleyn. I think I'm about 100 pages into that one, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So I did decide to go ahead and order the third book so that when I finish the second one, I can dive straight into this one. I'm having such an amazing time reading these books at the minute, guys. I've always been fascinated by the Tudor dynasty and Henry VIII and his 6 wives in particular, and so when I found out about these books, I just knew I had to read them. So this is historical fiction. I thought that they were non-fiction diving into them, but they are definitely not. Alison Weir is a historian, so she does have a lot of knowledge about the Tudor dynasty. She has delved deep into the lives of all of these characters, but what she's done is taken all of that and created this novel from it. So it's not technically accurate, but it is, I suppose, as accurate as it could be, as she's tried to step into the shoes of these women and tell their story, because obviously when we think of the Tudors, we immediately think of King Henry and not necessarily his wives, and we don't really know too much about his wives either. It's very much brushed over in our history classes and things like that, so I've decided to give them the attention that they deserve. Like I said, I've been having an amazing time reading these books so far, and I'm so glad to now have the third one in my collection. Right, now we have a bigger box, so let's see what is in here. I feel like I really struggle to open the Waterstones boxes. There we go. But in here we have, oh my gosh, it's a chunky book. I thought there were going to be multiple books in here, but it's just the one. So let's see what it is. Oh my gosh, can you guys see that? I didn't realize it would be this big. That is crazy. Wow, okay, so this is The Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. If you don't know, J. Kristoff has written the Nevernight Chronicles. He's also written a few sci-fi novels himself, as well as being a co-author for the Illuminae Files with Amy Kaufman. And all the books that I've read so far from him, I've absolutely loved. This is going to be a very different ride though. This is an adult high fantasy following vampires, and I genuinely don't know what to expect diving into this book. I think for this one I will just read you the synopsis because I just don't have the slightest idea of what actually happens in this book and how to describe it to you. So it does just say here, it's been 27 long years since the last sunrise. For nearly 3 decades, vampires have waged war against humanity, building their eternal empire even as they tear down our own. Now, only a few tiny sparks of light endure in this Sea of Darkness. Gabriel de Leon, half man, half monster, and last remaining Silver Saint, a sworn brother of the Holy Silver Order dedicated to defending the realm from creatures of the night, is all that stands between the world and its end. Now imprisoned by the very monsters he vowed to destroy, the last Silver Saint is forced to tell his story. A story of legendary battles and forbidden love, of faith lost and friendships won, of the wars of the blood and the forever king, and the quest for humanity's last remaining hope, the Holy Grail. Oh my god, that just sounds brilliant. I haven't actually picked up a fantasy book in so long, and I feel like this is definitely going to be calling out to me in the next few days. It is also signed by Kristoff himself as well, and oh my goodness, I didn't realise, but there are also illustrations throughout as well. Oh my gosh, I know this book is going to be a favourite of mine, and now I'm really excited to read it. I am trying to avoid spoilers though, because this book did come out a while back now, I want to say over a week ago at least, and I have been avoiding every single spoiler, but I feel like the longer I leave it, the harder it's going to be to do so, so I will definitely have to pick this one up soon. I know I keep saying that, and I know I'm going to say that for every book in this book haul, but this is one I do genuinely need to prioritise, and I cannot wait to read it. Oh, next up we have a very thin one, so let's see what is in this one. Okay, so in this one we have The Mist by Stephen King, and I can tell you guys now that there are going to be some more Stephen King books in this unboxing. I have actually started buying the newly released editions. This is one of them, as you can probably tell, and they are being re-released because I believe it's Carrie's 50th anniversary. So all of his books are being redesigned, and I decided, do you know what, I've never owned a Stephen King book, I've never read a Stephen King book, maybe now's the time to do so. I do already have 6 in my collection. I think I mentioned it in one of my last hauls, so if I can remember which one it is, I will leave it linked up above and down below for you guys, but this is one from the second set of books that are being released. And what I didn't actually realise is that all of these are short stories, I believe, that used to be published as one big book, but now they're being published separately. So it is probably just a ploy for more money. I of course fell for it because, like I said, I've never read a Stephen King book in my life before, but I am going to be glad to have it. I know it's going to look quite nice in my collection, and like I said, I do have a few more to unbox for you, so when we get to those I will show you all of them together. Next up we have another Waterstones parcel. Oh my gosh, you guys, can you see what this is? I completely forgot about this. Wow. Oh my gosh, I really did not remember that this was coming. So this is the special edition of The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, which, like I keep mentioning, is just absolutely beautiful. Look at these end pages. Oh my gosh. And it is also signed. I did get the edition with the signed book plate. I know these sold out pretty quickly, so I'm so sorry if you couldn't get your hands on them, but I just had to get my hands on this. If you don't know, The Song of Achilles and Circe are some of my favourite books of all time. They are beautifully written books that retell some of the classic Greek myths. And again, if you don't know, I'm absolutely in love with the Greek myths. I find them so fascinating. I love to read retellings about them. Anything factual as well just really interests me, and so these books were a hit for me from the get-go, and now I have this stunning edition. Oh, I'm really annoyed though because this isn't actually a sticker, so I was going to peel that off, but it's stuck on there unfortunately. But this is the back. I'm hoping you can see that. This is the spine, and then of course we have the front cover, which I am going to take this sticker off as well. Stickers on books just really irritate me, so I'm gonna try and do that now. Hopefully I don't mess anything up. This is risky, guys. Oh my gosh, I did it. And there's no sticky residue either, so look at this now. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And this doesn't actually have the synopsis inside from what I can see, but in this one we do follow Achilles and Patroclus as they go through their lives and as they go on to fight in the Trojan War. Obviously there's a lot more to it than that, but I just really don't want to say anything else about it, guys. It's better to dive into this one not really knowing anything, because you will be taken on a wild ride. I got so emotional reading this book, as well as Circe, which again I would highly recommend you read that book if you haven't already. And yeah, I'm just astounded to have this in my collection now. It is gorgeous, and being able to look at this all day every day is just going to make me so happy. Next up we have this one. That was a struggle, but in this one we have some more books, so I believe these are going to be the rest of the Stephen King books. Yep. and they're falling everywhere. So there we have it. These are all the books in the latest collection, and I'll just show you all the books individually now as well. So we have 1922, The Body, Apt Pupil, The Langoliers, The Sundog, and of course The Mist, which is the one that I showed you earlier. I'm not going to go into the synopsis for all of these. I honestly don't know when I'll get to them. I am just glad that I have them now and that I have the option to pick one up if I ever want to. Next up, I'm gonna go for this one. And in this one, I don't know how well you can see, we have What Once Was Mine by Liz Braswell. And I do actually have a couple more books to show you in this series, but I did actually unbox those off camera because there was something in the box that I needed at the time. So unfortunately, I'm not unboxing them for you today, but I do have them with me to show you. So as I mentioned, this is What Once Was Mine by Liz Braswell, and on the cover of this one, it does just say, what if Rapunzel's mother drank a potion from the wrong flower? So if you don't know, all of these books are twisted tales. So they take the original fairy tale or the Disney story and they twist it so that it's a lot darker. The second book that I bought from the Twisted Tale series is Straight On Till Morning, again by Liz Braswell, and this just says, what if Wendy first travelled to Neverland with Captain Hook? And then the last one is Go the Distance by Jen Colonita. And for this one it says, what if Meg had to become a Greek god? So this is a retelling of the film Hercules. This one is obviously Peter Pan, and of course Rapunzel, or Tangled as the film is called. So this is what they all look like together, and the reason that I chose these ones in particular are because these are my favourite Disney films, as well as Alice in Wonderland, which I do already have, but these are definitely the main ones that I gravitated towards rather than the other ones that are available at the moment. I'm in such a Disney mood right now, guys. I really do want to start planning a trip to Walt Disney World soon, but I am just having to wait so that Tom and I can sit down and sort out our finances, see what we can save, how much we can put to the side that doesn't need to be going towards bills and things like that. And it is looking like we are possibly going to be going in 2023, and so I'm just on a massive Disney kick right now. I want to consume all the Disney content, and so to have these twisted tales is just going to be perfect for me right now. I will just say though, I have heard a lot of mixed things about these books. I definitely don't think they're the best books ever written, but if they give me a bit of that Disney feeling, I am sure to love them in some capacity. So I am really looking forward to diving into these. Please do let me know actually which one I should start with. I do have Unbirthday, like I said, which is the Alice in Wonderland one, which I haven't actually read yet either. So I have 4 books now that I haven't read. Please do let me know which one you think I should start with. And if you've read any of these, please do let me know your thoughts on them as well. Next up, we have another chunky one. Oh no, look what I've done, you guys. Can you see what that is? I accidentally forgot to cancel my Amazon pre-order of Emperor of the Vampire by Kristoff, so now I have another copy, which I will probably return, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just hoping that it's not too late to do so, because like I said, I have been putting my parcels to the side for a few days, weeks even, and I'm just hoping now that I can still return it. The book is damaged as well, so I would have complained, so I think the easiest thing to do will just be to send it back. Moving on though. Again, I forgot about this one. We have The Nature of Middle-earth by J.R.R. Tolkien. Now this is really exciting because it's actually a newly released book from J.R.R. Tolkien. So I believe what they've done is that they've found a load of old manuscripts and things like that and put them together in another book for us. And I mean, I will take all the Middle-earth content I can get. So this was definitely a pre-order for me, and I'm so glad to have it now, especially in this beautiful edition. I love collecting these editions of the books. They are just absolutely beautiful and they go together so nicely on my shelves. The synopsis for this is really lengthy, but I am going to start reading it to you, and then if I feel like I've told you guys enough about this book, I will stop. But it does just say, J.R.R. Tolkien regarded the Silmarillion as the foundation of his imagined world, but despite it being the primary central work, he was unable to bring it to a final form, and it was left to his son Kristoff to construct the last version of a Silmarillion from the narratives that existed at the time of his father's death. For having once been an enclosed myth with a beginning and an end, it now had a vast extension, and within this there were major figures who had come out of the Elder Days, chief among them Galadriel, so a great deal of writing back would have to be done so that the Silmarillion could stand in relation to the Lord of the Rings. The writings collected in The Nature of Middle-earth reveal the path that Tolkien took as he sought to better understand his own unique creation, with greater precision, fullness and consistency. This new collection, which has been edited by leading Tolkien expert Carl F. Hostetter, is a veritable treasure trove, offering readers a chance to peer over Professor Tolkien's shoulder at their very moment of discovery, and on every page Middle-earth is once again brought to extraordinary life. Wow, I just cannot wait to dive into this one. I still haven't actually completed the Silmarillion, which is shocking, I know, but it's just so daunting and I feel like I need to dedicate my full attention to it, and because at the minute I've just been so busy, I haven't been able to do so. So I really do want to finish that, and then once I do that I will be moving on to this one. And then I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to finish with this one because this is the last book that I have, and then this box here is something special, but I don't know if I want to show it in this video yet. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is film a separate unboxing video for this because I don't want this one to be too long, and I think you guys will want a more in-depth look on the things in here as well. So I think I'm going to end it with this book. Hopefully it's a good one, we shall see. And in here we have, oh my gosh, it is a good one. This is The Women of Troy by Pat Barker, and if you don't know, Pat Barker also wrote The Silence of the Girls, which is one of my all-time favourite books. This is once again a retelling of the Trojan War, but it does focus on the women in that situation, and I do believe that we get the women's perspective throughout this book as well. Yeah, so it says, Troy has fallen, the Greeks have won their bitter war. They can return home as victors. All they need is a good wind to lift their sails. But the wind has vanished, the seas becalmed by vengeful gods, and so the warriors remain in limbo, camped in the shadow of the city they destroyed, kept company by the women they stole from it. The women of Troy. Helen, poor Helen, all that beauty, all that grace, and she was just a mouldy old bone for feral dogs to fight over. Cassandra, who has learned not to be too attached to her own prophecies, they have only ever been believed when she can get a man to deliver them. Stubborn Amina, with her gaze still fixed on the ruined towers of Troy, determined to avenge the slaughter of her king. Hecuba, howling and clawing her cheeks on the silent shore, as if she could make her cries heard in the gloomy halls of Hades, as if she could wake the dead. And Briseis, carrying her future in her womb, the unborn child of the dead hero Achilles, once again caught up in the disputes of violent men, once again faced with a chance to shape history. Masterful and enduringly resonant, ambitious and intimate, The Women of Troy continues Pat Barker's extraordinary retelling of one of our greatest classical myths, following on from critically acclaimed The Silence of the Girls. I again need to read this as soon as possible. I did love the first book. I feel like I'm gonna love this book as well, and honestly I cannot wait to get to it, so please let me know if you guys have read this one too. Of course, please don't spoil anything. I'm just going to dive in not really knowing anything except from my background knowledge of the Iliad and the Battle of Troy, but I'm very happy to have this in my collection now, and hopefully I can get to it relatively soon. And that is it for today's video, guys. I'm so tired now, but I'm absolutely buzzing to have been able to finally open up these parcels. I have such an amazing stack of books to get through, and I'm honestly excited for each and every single one of them. If you've read any of these books, please do let me know your thoughts on them down below. Your opinions do mean the world to me, and they can influence which books I sway towards first. So if you've seen a book here that you really love and want me to read, please do let me know. If you've made it this far into the video, please do leave me some book emojis down below. It again truly means the world to me when you guys comment the emoji of the video. It blows me away how many of you actually watch these videos till the end, and it is just a really nice way to let me know that you're here as well. Whilst you're down in the comments, please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video, and the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon in my next one. Goodbye!